Full Force Festival 2022. I'm completely wet, as you can see. And I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. And I'm telling you that every time, but it's always meant like this because that's the reason we're doing the interviews. Chris, Blood Youth, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I am wet too.
Yeah, I see that, but actually you're still looking very, very good with the rockstar attitude. So.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's a compliment or.
It is a compliment in that case.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's the Full Force Festival. How is it for you?
So
you've been here in the past?
No, this is our first time. So we kind of got added kind of last minute. And this has been one of the festivals I've personally wanted to play for so long. Yeah. Alongside, all the other amazing German festivals that go on in this genre. Yeah. But yeah, it's our first time here. It's amazing. We were driving through, and the place looks insane. And I remember, just kind of being a music fan myself. I'm always watching like live sets and stuff and shows from festivals on, the internet. And I always saw this really cool looking festival with all this like industrial stuff just going on, and it just looked crazy, and I was always just wondering, where is that? And then we were pulling in today, I was like, fuck, it's here. I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. So yeah, no, it's amazing. It's probably one of my all-time favorite festivals we've ever played. I
understand that. Have you been to the seaside?
No, we were just about to go. After this, I'm gonna take off all my clothes and run in.
Yeah, you should do that. The Imminence guys were also telling. We had them interview right before you, and they said, "Okay, Mike, I'm so sorry, but I need to go to the seaside."
Oh yeah, no, I think a few members have already gone in. Yeah. But me and our tour manager, we were just kind of like hanging out in the shade for a long time and
waiting to have the interview with us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. we actually forgot. We were just like, I was just relaxing in the shade, and then we got a call, and we were like, fuck.
You know what? I have a very good idea. The next time we are doing interviews here at the Full Force Festival, we will do that in the sea, sitting there with a microphone, just with just with a short. I think that's an amazing idea.
Well, what are we doing in here? Let's go.
We should do that. Let's go. Because I'm quite the same wet, so
yeah. We got towels. They're wet, but
it's ice towel. Yeah, you did it quite good. Let's talk about Blood Youth. I mean, you guys released your last album, and you released the first single, the second single, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not quite sure if it was after the second or the third single, and then you had to say that your lead singer Kaya is leaving the band.
Yeah, correct. It was. I think it was around the release of the third single when it all started becoming public. But that happened, and we knew about that happening since before the first single. So it took a lot of preparation, and obviously, we didn't want to let anything go out into the public before we were secure, and we made sure that we could carry on and give people what they wanted. But yeah, it's a hard time.
Was it? How was it for your band? I mean, you have something like a media plan. You have something, ideas what you do. You want to tour. There's all the stuff you need to do to achieve the most possible with the new record, because the idea is always to get new audience and
of course,
get the most visibility for the record and the singles and all the stuff. How hard was it for you as a band to get that? Because I had the feeling that this was like it was like a visible point where the band needs to reset their strategy.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot on the table for us. I mean, the circumstances alone of why it happened was enough to make sure that we knew that it could carry on. It's just we prioritized making sure Kai was okay. Yeah. And we made sure that he was certain with his decision, and that obviously it's a shock when that happens. I remember when he first he called me up and told me. It's not something anyone wants to hear, I mean, me and Kaya, we grew up together in our hometown up north of England in Harrogate. And we've been playing music since we were like 14, 15, just together, and been in bands since we were younger. So this is always something that we've had this like blood connection with, and we come from the same soil, and we've started doing it, and it started picking up. And you know, to see something so terrible happen to him, less so for the band, but I felt more for my brother, who was going through some terrible shit, pretty much, you know, and especially during COVID, that's not what anyone needs. And that's kind of, I guess, where everyone was kind of gritting their teeth and like hoping doesn't happen to them or their family. But unfortunately it happened to one of us, and we just couldn't do anything but just respect his choice and support him through it. And we made sure that this is exactly why he wanted to do it. It wasn't kind of like a knee-jerk reaction, and he kind of panicking about what to do in his life. And you know, we made sure that we talked about it properly over and over again. And yeah, in the end of the day, we just decided, you know, it was the right thing for him as a person, for him to do for his family, and that he wanted us to carry on. Like, he actively wanted us to carry on.
Yeah.
We weren't talking about breaking up or anything. We were maybe talking about going on a hiatus, or, you know, just touring down to like minimal. But he didn't want us to do that. He wanted us to carry on and carry Blood Youth further and further, and if not just for him, but for, you know, his family and everyone who's been supporting since the beginning, you know.
And I mean, it went quite good for Blood Youth the last years. You played a lot of support shows. You're constantly growing audience of people listening to your music.
Yeah.
And I think your kind of style is right now right in the middle of a new movement.
Yeah, I mean, when we released Starve, that was kind of a big earthquake in the scene, because not a lot of people, one, expected us to go that route, but two, weren't really expecting something that sounded like that to do well. And I remember it was the third, was it the third one? Yeah, so we did Starve was the first single, which was the title track of the album. Then we did Keep You Alive, and then the third single, Spineless. Spineless has a good story, because when that was written, we were with an old team at the time, and I, being the predominant songwriter in the band, I presented this song as a demo to everyone, and it was pretty much exactly how the song is. It was never changed, but our team just didn't really think it was going to do well. And they were kind of like, I was kind of, you know, writing such a personal thing for me, and I take a lot of time, and, you know, I put a lot of heart into it, so I took that very personally, and it kind of stunned me for a bit, and it took me a long time to get back on my feet. And then before the album was finished and, you know, fully written, that song was still kind of floating around, but I still had this kind of like toxic kind of words, these words that were kind of spoken about it not being good or anything, and I was kind of doubting myself. And then when we actually ended up replacing our entire team, for good reason, and we ended up bringing that song back, which became Spineless, and that song blew up for us. It was the most loved song. It was the first song that we had just reach 1 million streams in like that. It was like days, and it was there on every playlist. And I was just thinking, man, like we need to, like, we're in control here. You know, it's such a, you know, such a and it's such a great song, and it fucking slaps live as well.
And the interesting thing is, as we are doing the MoreCore parties for Germany, like in more than 10 cities, we also play Blood Youth songs on our parties, and it's most of the time it's Starve or Spineless. And,
fuck yeah!
And I'm quite sure that not everyone in the room knows the song or knows the band, but they enjoy them from the very first listening.
Yeah, that's the weird thing with us, is that we're a band that we haven't done like a lot of bands that come out these days, and, you know, it's great for them. They kind of shoot up immediately, and, you know, we've always just kind of been, you know, there's no kind of theme to us. There's no facade or any sort of, like, you know, we're just like some dirty heavy metal fans that love writing and playing and touring and just playing what we love and what we're true to. And so we've always just kind of been this band, which is, you know, a lot of people kind of know us, and it surprises me when, like, still when they say they know us or they like an album or something or whatever. And but, you know, we're still quite under the radar as a band, because we don't really change much. We just keep it going. We make sure that our music changes and that we keep it exciting, and we push it and we push ourselves. But in terms of just like a band. We're just like solid, and yeah, we still got a lot of ears to get into.
Thinking about your last releases, Cells is, I guess, one of the most successful songs from the record.
Oh yeah.
What would you say? What's the next step? Is there? I mean, are you still? Would you say that you're still in the? You still don't want to write new music? You just play shows, or is it like you have a new singer?
Yeah.
You need to write new songs to get more comfortable, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it's a weird one now. I mean, it's a positive weird one because we released such like I think it's the best piece of work that we've ever put together. The progression that album has, Visions of Another Hell, compared to Starve, is just like it's worlds apart. It's still the same world, but there's so much in it. And I thought I put a lot into Starve, like layers and textures and sounds and time and everything. But this time, I just really wanted to fuck with synths.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much because for me, it's like, of course, I'm someone who's growing up with the new metal era in the late '90s to the beginning of 2000s.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're quite in the same.
Absolutely.
The same age. And then I was listening to Blood Youth the first time and went, "Hey man, they're doing it quite good. They took the old vibe and brought it to the new version, which fits
exactly.
The actual time."
Yeah.
And I guess that's quite cool, and I very enjoyed your last record.
We lost a lot of fans as well from Starve. We lost a lot of fans.
Really?
Yeah. Because I mean, if you listen to our first 3 releases, Inside My Head, Closure, and then Beyond Repair, it's like night and day.
You lost your fans with Starve.
We lost some. We also gained a lot.
Yeah, so, because I thought you lost...
Because it's such a shift in the magnitude. It's just such a heavy record.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because I thought you lost the fans between Starve and Violence. So that's
no, we still got them.
Okay, because
they're all here now.
There is like a more progression, exactly. And what's next? I mean, are you writing new songs? Will there be a record? Is there something you can tell us? Yeah,
well, I mean, we're kind of keeping it focused on touring and trying to get back into touring right now because COVID has really stepped us back a lot. Because when the year that COVID hit, we needed to write, and we've been touring so much throughout the past that we pretty much told our team to just kind of put halt on everything. Regretfully, so that we could focus on writing, producing, and do it like recording this album and everything. And then the day after we just left the studio recording Visions, COVID hit, and it was just like doors shut, lockdown, and obviously we didn't have anything booked for that year. So the year is coming. Every single year is the previous year, kind of just moved forward. So it's been a real uphill battle just for us to try find anything. So, like this festival and Ihrer that we were at a couple of days ago, we were added on like weeks before,
Crazy.
And we're just like, yes to everything that we get.
Of course, give it to me.
Yeah, because we're hungry for this. And, we've got this whole new team and everyone is killing it. And we just want to do what, because we're a live band. We're a touring band.
And you definitely need to get Violence to more people.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
And that's it. And so we are writing right now. We've got like, I think 3 or 4 songs, but it's pretty much like what I really want to take from the last album, Visions, is the complexity in the songs and the electronic industrial kind of vibe. I love a lot of electronic music. And I would really, really love to turn that way over 100 on this next one.
That's quite interesting to hear, because I think that this industrial vibe is something which is growing right now. Thinking about the Northlane record, by example.
Or
Bad Omens, 2 records in which there are some songs that are sounding so industrial metal vibey that like, oh shit, like like people just listening to 9 Inch Nails or other bands. And like, oh shit, the sound is coming.
Yeah, man, it comes back. Like, all of this shit kind of comes around full circle. Like, it happened with pop punk, happened with way like maybe like 2012 when I was in college with my friend. We would always go to like Outbreak Festival. Hardcore was the biggest thing. There was like underground hardcore was like the coolest fucking thing ever. And then it was pop punk, and then like it just moves and moves, and it was metalcore, it's new metal, and
Yeah.
now it's like electronics and putting industrial sounds and like
Yeah.
soundscaping and things, and it just all comes around, you know. That's why with our approach, you know, we don't stress ourselves out with, you know, I'm sure there are probably a lot of bands out there which work extremely hard for their craft, and they probably stress a lot about how, you know, things should be for the crowd or how other people are going to see this. And a lot of those bands do very well, but I've seen, like, we've been here from day one throughout this entire scene, and I've seen most of those bands just drop off and just end.
Exactly.
And there's a reason for that, and you've got to enjoy what you do for yourself above anything else. And that's the beautiful thing about Blood Youth, is that we've always just kind of said, fuck it, should we just do this? I mean, if it's going to be popular one day, fuck it, you know. I'm happy to wait. We're going to get great shows like tonight, and it's, you know, we just enjoy what we do. That's the only reason we do it.
And hopefully getting more and more fans with
absolutely, yeah,
each release.
Absolutely, and meeting them more as well. It's been crazy. There's like so many people just after the show up against the barrier today. It was just like I could not go down there and just say hello. Even though I was getting dirty looks from like all the team and everyone that was trying to set up and all my gear and stuff, and but I didn't care. It's so nice. We're all going to go for a swim together, and we'll probably meet all of them there.
Yeah, well, you should do that.
Yeah,
it's growing, it's hotter and hotter in that room.
Oh, it's fucked in here. It's genuinely hell.
Yeah,
like,
it's hell. You mentioned the music. Fuck, just help me, please.
Industry.
No. Your influences.
Influences.
Is there a band you would like to mention? Is there something you're listening right now? Is there something you would say you really like right now?
Right now, I'm listening to a band called Tala. From America.
Yeah, with H at the end.
T-A-L-L-A-H.
Yeah.
They are insane.
Yeah.
And I do not know why they are not huge, but like I said, they'll probably come full circle, and you know, they're very much in the same world as us, and they are insane. I suggest anyone who likes anything that we've done, check them out, because you're gonna love it. And yeah, I've been listening to them so much recently, but I don't really listen to a lot of music, to be honest.
What about other genres?
I don't even have Spotify on my phone or anything, you know.
Really?
Yeah, at home I play guitar, but I don't really find myself listening to music. When I leave the house, I've never owned earphones or anything. I don't listen to music like on train rides or traveling or on tour. I'll never listen to music.
But you're watching live appearances from bands on festivals.
Exactly. I love watching interviews, and I love watching live shows. Yeah. And I'm a big nerd when it comes to that. Like band DVDs and things, I collect them. Yeah. I'm very old school.
What is the best live show you've ever seen?
I've never personally seen it yet, but Rammstein. I need to see that band. Okay. I have a weird thing with pyro. If you've seen our first single off the new album, Iron Lung, you've seen the music video, you'll see probably a nice little smile if you zoom in enough. The fact that we had a big fire.
I haven't seen that smile, but that's...
you zoom in, it's probably that. Yeah, you got to catch the headbang on the way up, and then you'll probably see it. Yeah. I was loving it. Yeah, Rammstein's such a huge inspiration as well, and I love their synths and their electronics and the way they incorporate such simplistic riffs, and their live show. It's almost like the songs are just perfectly crafted for everything they've got going on in state. Yeah. They're the band which I'd say the probably best live show.
And which one would be the best festival? From all the videos you checked, or you've perhaps visited already?
I wouldn't say there's one, but it's festivals like this.
So just mention 3 festivals you really would like to play.
Hellfest, Rock am Ring. I was going to say Full Force.
It's okay to say Full Force in that.
Resurrection Fest.
Yeah, that's also great.
Resurrection Fest. We have not been there yet. If anyone that works there or anything sees this, fucking get us booked right now.
We sent them an email.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We would be there in a second. I love those. All the videos they do, everything. I've watched tons of them. I'll tell you what though, I completely slipped my mind then when you were asking about live sets. One I have actually seen in person. Best live show I've ever seen, and one of my all-time favorite bands, In Flames. Incredible. I saw them at Leeds Arena. supporting Five Finger Death Punch with
Yeah.
Of Mice and Men.
Oh, this was a huge tour.
Yeah, it was huge. And their production, I've never been so just like glued. Like my eyes were just stuck on the stage the whole time. Amazing. Like at that. Like, but it's such a shame because they did it in the arena tour that I saw them, but then they never did it at any of the festivals, like with the videos that I've been watching or anything like that. And I always wonder, but it was the best show I think I've ever seen. So yeah.
But I'm quite sure they will come back.
Oh yeah, they've got to do that again.
Yeah, and then there will be a chance to perhaps also that they do some festivals then.
Oh fuck yeah! I mean, I'd love it if they were here.
Yeah, perhaps you're playing then together with them on I don't know Rock am Ring or something.
I'm there. I don't give a fuck.
Hopefully the same day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's the thing as well. Is that all these festivals that we're going to right now? It's just like all of our friends are like. So we had all our friends at Ihrer on the same day, and then here that we just missed them. But we've got Barry tomorrow and a bunch of other friends here, like Knock Loose, and you know, it's good to catch up with those guys as well.
Yeah, it is. We also had an interview with Barry tomorrow and was talking.
Who are you talking to?
Dan and Dav.
Yeah, Dan's cool. Dav, no. No.
Yeah,
no.
Dav.
Terrible person.
Quite interesting because they also have the keyboard player now in the band. So and I'm quite interested in that what happens with their sound then.
Yeah, very similar world. We had a good chat. The first time we came back after COVID, we both saw each other playing Slam Dunk Festival at Leeds in London.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was great to see them with this fresh new like arrangement and all these new faces, and you know, Ed, their new guitarist, I've known for years and years, like over 10 years, and it was hilarious when I first saw him because I had no idea who their new guitarist was, and then I saw him and I was like,
I know you.
Wait a minute, you kept this quiet, and it is so great. I was talking to him earlier. It's so nice to just see him back in the game because he's one of the most talented musicians and guitarists just I've ever seen shred.
And they were also shredding the stage.
They fucking were. They always do. Yeah. Apart from Dav.
Apart from Dav.
Yeah, no.
Chris, it was a pleasure talking to you.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the support, and continue doing what you're doing because bands and everything in this world needs it, and it's very much seen.
Yeah, perhaps we also need some air condition, but that's something else.
True.
So, thank you very much. You know the game. Subscribe to the channel. Use the bell. Thank you very much. Listen to Blood Youth music, of course. And yeah, Chris, thank you very much.
Fuck yeah, man. Thank you.
I wish you an amazing rest of your trip.
Thank you so much.
Home. And then hopefully we see us soon as perhaps at the next tour or something.
Oh, absolutely.
It was a pleasure.
Heads up. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.